What is up, lovely people? I'm back again, and I'm actually back again. Like, by the time you see this, exam season is over, and it's been a wild ride for fucking 4 months. I've had so many ups, so many fucking downs. Like, just not so many downs, but like a massive down. Fucking part of my life felt like it got removed, but it is what it is. I forgot who I was, and I was just looking at old videos and like organizing things, and I just wanted to I don't know, put some of my personal life out there on the internet. And the first clip that you saw was a while back. I think it was like maybe 2 years ago, and that was I'm just not gonna go into it, but let's just say she's a friend of mine that liked watching me work out and we hang out. So I forgot who I was for a bit. Sometimes you just mourn something, and then you spiral down, and all you need is someone to talk to, good friends, and just a reminder of who you once were. So that being said, hopefully I'm back. Hopefully it's not just bipolar disorder and I'm kind of all over the place again, but it is what it is. For now I'm okay. I think it's the post-exam feeling where it's just like, or post-final season feeling where everything's kind of like lifted. You're like, wow, I survived that shit. I got a couple more semesters to go of torture, but fucking Sem 1, good to go, and I'm fucking free for a bit. So it's still national season, which is another thing on my plate. I gotta keep training, and as you can see here, this is what training is like. This one's a little bit longer because this is still final week, in quotations, week, but I think this might be day 5 or 6 of final week, or it's not final week, but volume week. Sorry guys, it's been a while. I've been studying all day today. I know I said final season's over, but I'm still in the midst of finals right now. I am studying all of MSAC. Again, if you don't know what that is, muscular, skeletal, anatomy, and kinesiology. It's all bunched into one course, so I am getting butt rushed by all the information. So, anyways, where was I going with this? This is where I was going. So this is volume week. This is what training is like. These videos have been a little bit longer just because mom has been absolutely killing me with all of the volume, all of the percentages, and it's been a wild ride. So as you can see here, I'm pulling 95 kilos for snatch triples, and I have no idea how many sets I'm doing, but mom throws me thumbs up here and there, and then what I'm doing wrong, how I should try to correct it. And pulling 95 kilos is hard, one, but then trying to think about what you have to fix mid-lift or pre-lift or post-lift is just, the mid-lift one sucks because you get the bar off the ground and you're like, okay, now I got to activate my abs at a certain point of time. I got to pull the bar closer to my body. I got to relax my arms, and then I got to shoot my arms through to get the bar overhead. So there's so many different things that have to be coordinated, and you only have so much time to think. Like, I'm dumb. Not dumb, but for the sake of this video, I'm stupid, and I just don't know when to pull, when to contract, when to stand up straight. Shit is just not flying well, but at least for this period of time in this video, things were decently okay. That being said, topic for today, I don't really have a topic for today. Let's talk about peach rings. Let's talk about supplements. Let's talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. But I think the biggest thing is to truly be authentic and just be who you are, because no one else in the world is going to be you. You can only be you. And I think when you get into stressful situations like competitions or school or, I don't know, relationships, the best relationships are usually the ones where you can be yourself, which is such a blessing, because if you're comfortable in that relationship, then you don't really need anything else. You guys can work on it together. But other situations like competitions in school, things just take over. You're like, I have to do well in school, so you're like try-harding. And then you focus a little too much on the grades and not on the progress, or like not on the information that you want to be focusing on. And so you start to lose yourself a little bit, and you get consumed by results rather than progress or growth. And same thing goes with competition too. With competition, it's very numbers based. You're like, at least for weightlifting and powerlifting, if you kind of do the inferior of the two sports. But when you get caught up in the numbers, you just think about training. You're like, I need to hit this number. I need to hit this number. Or if I'm not hitting this number, then I'm not doing well. And you don't see other things, like your technique is getting better. You're getting less fatigued. You're enduring more pain. You're doing all the things right, but the numbers aren't adding up. And sometimes it's just a delayed effect of you're doing everything correctly, and then the numbers will get there. But if you fixate on the numbers too much, then you're going to really, really heavily focus on that. And that could be detrimental to how you're training, because if you don't match up with the numbers, if things don't line up to how you want them to be, then you don't you don't enjoy the little things. You don't celebrate the small victories. And I think a lot of people that do get into competitive sports or school, and they let that, or career even, and they let that consume their life, where they're like, I need to be at this point in time. It's kind of a downward spiral from there. So guys, just don't lose yourself. Be authentic. Be who you want to be. Live the life that you want to live. All this like guru nonsense it actually made sense for a little while. Sometimes the only way to bounce back from a fall is to literally just try to stand up. And if you can't, crawl. And if you can't crawl, then fuck it. Lay there, take a breather, and then try again. Like, as long as you don't stay there for too long, stay on the ground, or you're fucking dead in the water, you're gonna be okay. You just need momentum, and momentum builds on momentum. So it's gonna be okay. I've learned a lot from school, and like, I don't know, people have been getting to know me a little more, and like, I don't know what it is about March. Going back to my old video, or the last video that I posted. So going back to the last video I posted, I don't know what was in the air in March. Relationships were dropping like flies. Everyone was depressed as fuck. The weather was kind of getting better, but still at the same time, it was pretty shitty. And then April hits, and people are still fucking getting over all of this depressional sadness, post-breakup syndrome, and I don't know. The changing of seasons suck ass. I'm still hopeful in all the things in my life, and hopefully in a garden of endless flowers, I would still pick the same flower that I picked 2 years ago. So I'm hopeful for that situation to kind of come to fruition. I'm just working on myself. But if that doesn't come true, if my wish doesn't come fulfilled, then I pull. So I can say that I got some riz. My friends were just like joking around. They're like, you're charismatic, blah blah blah. I don't give a shit. I literally have gone through the most traumatic experience of my life. I've written fucking all of the exams that I needed to while being depressed. I've gone through volume hell during this turmoil, and I am somehow still breathing. My emotional dopamine level of I don't know. Just I'm so bipolar at this point, so numb, but so full of emotion. It's yeah. I'm just built different is essentially what I'm saying. And I think everyone needs to just recognize their own self-actualization and and just be who you want to be and be who you are. These are the only things that you can do. I talked to my favorite counselor that's not actually a counselor, but she listens to all my tea. And she's like, you're an amazing guy. You're actually a very impressive guy. And in my head, I'm like, no, I'm not. I ain't shit. I still need to beat fucking 10 other people in the country in this nationals that's coming up. So I gotta train my ass off. I'm not an amazing guy yet, but I appreciate the thought. And she was like, well, you know, things are gonna work out. You're funny. If you did want another girl, I feel like it's not hard for you to get one. And I was like, it's pretty hard when you don't want another one. But now I kind of realize what she was saying, and then my friends are all being supportive. But it's just the heart wants what it wants, and right now it wants that one flower that I picked 2 years ago. Like the sun needs the moon, and how the sea needs the land. It's I hope things were meant to be. I really do. But if they weren't, then this bee's got other flowers to pollinate, you know? So the most fucked up metaphor that I could think of just came to mind. Sorry for that image, but it is what it is. I like thinking of myself as a fat bumblebee because I think those bees are cute. All other bees are kind of scary, especially wasps. I know they're not bees, but the ones with like a thinner exoskeleton, those ones kind of freak me out. Bumblebees are adorable. Why? Because their fucking bodies are so big and their wings are so tiny. I don't want to be that big IRL, but it's just adorable thinking about how they fly in the air. And they're like little fat yellow and black blobs that are kind of just floating. Have you ever thought about that? I don't know. I'm stupid. So that's what I think about when I study fucking muscles and insertions, origins, and other bullshit like that. So if you enjoyed the video and if you enjoyed watching me suffer, this was day 6 or 7 of volume hell. I barely survived. You're gonna see after these next 2 sets, I try for the absolute last set and I get, TLDR, if you don't make it to the end. I almost got crushed. I get pinned, essentially. I get pinned by the weights. Can't really get up, so I just bail. And it is what it is. I did the best that I could. Always room for improvement. I just have to acknowledge that and try to see where I can get better each day. If it's stamina, if it's strength, if it's technique, if it's just hiding emotions in muscles, if it's getting skinnier because I have to lose weight, if it's just fucking showing up to the gym. There are always things that you can improve on to become 1% better each day. And hopefully you're on that journey. And hopefully you can see that you've come from somewhere. And that all of your efforts have not been in vain. Because it's character development. You deserve it somehow. And you are going to win eventually. So that being said, don't give up. Never quit. And enjoy 10% off of your supplements if you check out the link in the description. Check out Get Raw Nutrition. Save 10% off with my discount code CREANDREW10. All of my favorite things are essentially things that give me energy. Why? Because I can't do drugs. Because I am a drug-tested athlete. So, the favorite product of the month is going to be Super Savage by Get Raw Nutrition. Super Savage is spelled with a TH. So if you wanted to check that out, check out the link below. Look at pre-workouts and find your Super Savage moments. Enjoy the rest of the day, and I hope to see you soon. Wow. I don't know what's more pretty, the sunset or you.